Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be making a video. This is an experiment. I don't know how well this video is going to do, but I hope it does well. This is my video on Inovio Pharmaceuticals, my thoughts behind it, and stock analysis and chart analysis, I guess. But before I begin, I just want to talk about Billions. First season of Billions was kind of bad. But there were some really good episodes on there that helped me understand the stock market better. Like, there's an episode called Short Squeeze, and there's episodes called, but it's, it's, the first season was bad. The second season was a lot better because they introduced new characters that was really interesting, that made the show more appealing to me. So sometimes a character can really matter, and the second season, I was like, okay, you know what, first season was kind of bad, I was going to stop watching it, but I decided to give the second season a shot. So I watched a couple episodes, and I was like, wow, the second season is a lot better than first season. This show is getting a little bit more interesting. So I'm thinking that over time, this show will get better and better because the writers will get better every season, and maybe they'll introduce new and more interesting characters and make the show more interesting. But at the moment, it is getting more interesting, and I am kind of hooked right now a little bit. So just want to keep you an update on that, and it's also important why I bring up Billions for why I'm talking about so I would appreciate a thumbs up for this video. It would be appreciated. Anyways, moving forward, Inovio Pharmaceuticals, bad blood with citron. So, if you guys are not aware, Andrew Leff, some people call him a short seller, but he's not really a short seller. He does short the market. So yeah, you could say he's a short seller, but his ultimate goal is not to short markets, but it is to make money, because there are times when he came on and he said he was short Tesla, and then he says I'm not short Tesla anymore, and so it's like, and he's long Tesla, so he can switch his mind, and he can bet. His job is to just simply make money on the way down or on the way up, and he does it through researching the company and find out the fundamentals of the company, and he also has to have a deep understanding of how the stock market works, and I think he does, and that's why I think Andrew Leff is a pretty smart person overall, but that's my opinion. So Citron came out with a price target of $1 on Inovio Pharmaceuticals. It could hit $1. That is the absolute best scenario, that it actually hits $1. Will it hit $1? I have no idea, but Citron is saying that Inovio Pharmacy, once this is all over, this stock will hit $1. I absolutely agree, but it might not hit $1, but at the same time, there's a possibility it could skyrocket, because if they did actually come up with a vaccine, I think the stock's going to head higher. But at the same time, it's so tough to see succeed in this, because they are competing against multiple big pharmaceutical companies that have hundreds of billions of dollars on their balance sheet, and they are generating massive amount of revenue and profits, and they have a huge research team, and it's really hard to see beat everybody to the market, beat everyone to the market. So the gamble of it going up is extremely unlikely. I mean, honestly, this is what I think is happening with the stocks. You see this pump right here from basically 425 all the way up to 1409. Basically, these are hedge fund billionaires coming in and traders coming in, pushing the stock price up high, really high, and then once they hit a certain point, massive sell-off. So basically, because in the show Billions, basically one guy was sitting at his key on his computer, and he was like, hits a button on his keyboard, and then suddenly the stock started to rise. So basically one fund or a couple funds can literally move a stock price up $5-10 in a day. It is a pump and dump. It gets traders excited, it gets retail investors excited, but they have to be careful when they do it. They have to do it when there's a big news release, and that's what happened. There was a big news release, so big hedge fund billionaires are pumping a ton of money, pulling in a bunch of retail investors. If you didn't sell out at the top or at all, you lost out big time because it just fell back down real quick in such a short amount of time. And then the second time it got pumped up was by more billionaires, was when there was more news release regarding Inno. Even Jim Cramer came out and talked about Inno. But Jim Cramer is not really promoting Inno because, he probably knows better. Yeah, I'm just thinking, right now for Inno, I think that either news will affect the stock big time. So if Inno comes out with some more positive news on some kind of virus, more billionaires funds might hit that button again to cause the stock to rally. So it is a gamble, but at the same time, I think that if there's no news for let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, I think this stock is heading back to around $7. I think at $7 it's worth a gamble. Sure, it could drop all the way down to $3 or $4, but I think that at $4 it's worth a gamble. And I say that if the stock price, let's say, suddenly pops back up to, I don't know, let's say $15, $16, $17, I would say, not financial advice, I would say that it's probably, if you can have the ability to short, I would say it would be a perfect short if it runs up a few dollars, like $5-10. I think that, if you can find the top, you can make a lot of money on the way down if you know how to buy some put options or whatever. So that's my opinion. So moving forward, $1.58 billion is quite a hefty evaluation for a company that makes absolutely no money, and they have a shareholder equity of $5 or $6 million. It just, to me, it makes no sense, but it's, right now I think it's a billionaires are just manipulating the stock right now. Retail investors really have no say where the stock movement will go in the short term. So as a like I always stress, as a retail investor, the person that don't have hundreds of millions of dollars on their account, every dollar this moves up is $145 million. So really, at the end of the day, you're gambling the fact that billionaires would come in and pump the stock back to $14, $15, $16. It's a gamble. It's literally a gamble. That's what I think. But I think that once this whole situation is dealt with, I think that will probably go back to $2.50, and maybe possibly even hit $1. I mean, well, it probably not, because it's never actually been to $1. So I think Andrew Leff saying it's $1 is, he's just trying to be as bearish as possible, and that's his right, I guess. He's allowed to do that because he wants to scare people to sell and get rid of the stock so he can benefit from the stock going down. So yeah, that's how it works. It should be illegal to try to scare people to sell their stocks, but that's my opinion. But it's not. Short sellers do it all the time. There's negative articles out there all the time, so people are allowed to express their opinion. Bulls or bears. But sometimes I also think it helps too. Some guy might be he might be right, and I should take my profits and be more careful. Andrew Leff came out not too long ago. If you weren't aware, Andrew Leff was Kronos should be $1 stock, $1.50 stock. He was so bearish on Kronos Group. He would have been right. He would have been right if Kronos Group didn't get a $2 billion deal, or I don't remember exactly how much, but it's roughly a $2 billion deal from Otira. He would have been right. If Kronos didn't get that investment from Altera, I think it would be trading somewhere between, 50 cents to $1. Like, that's what I think. Or maybe a little higher, maybe $1 to $1.50. It would not be trading at $7.52 today, in my opinion. So, just my opinion. He was right on Village Farms. When Village Farms ran up like crazy, he was like, short this thing, and he was right. So this is the Nasdaq. I need to find the Canadian one. So he was shorting the stock when it wasn't even traded on the Nasdaq. He was probably personally shorting it through like some kind of special account or something. I have no idea because it wasn't traded on New York. But when it ran up, I don't know if he got the top, but when it ran up, he said, this thing is short, and look, it's back down to $3.47. It's down way below where rich billionaires pumped this thing up all the way up to $21.93, because I guarantee you, retail investors are not going to pump this thing up or $1 billion in a matter of a week. I made a video on it. I said Village Farms is being pumped up by billionaires or big money. And that's what I thought. And people were like saying, no, Village Farms is going to go to the moon. It's going to go higher. Well, it's not going higher because 6 months later, it's at $4.75. Granted, the entire MJ industry is under a lot of pressure right now, so it kind of makes sense. But, yeah. Moving forward, CVSI, another company Andrew Leff shorted. He actually called it out around here, but it took about 6 months to 7 months for it to go all the way down to 50 cents. Could it be worth a gamble around here? Sure. Another more billionaires could come back in and pump the stock up to $5-6. That is a total possibility. It's a gamble at the end of the day that rich people will come back and pump this stock up. Could it happen? Like I said, anything's possible in the market. Andrew Leff was also right about Aurora. Well, he never actually made a public article on it, but he did, according to Rich Live TV. Some people might call him a fraudster or whatever, but Rich Live TV, he came on and he said that Andrew Leff says that Aurora was going to go to zero. Well, it's at 67 cents. So that's pretty much right. So, Andrew Leff knows what he's talking about. And the stock is at zero. Kind of, in a way. I mean, not perfectly zero, but 0.67 is pretty zero in my opinion. But this will change after the reverse split. So he's going to be wrong as soon as the reverse split happens. Yeah. So here's another negative article on InnoPharmacy on Motley Fool. You can read it for yourself. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.